disclosure. Sober disclosure. Breezy's a slut.
And we like it in the butt.
Are you or someone you know looking for support in recovery? Taste Recovery is your go-to directory for sober resources. Whether you're searching for treatment centers or sober living communities, Taste Recovery connects you with the right tools and support to help you on your journey. With a user-friendly platform and a comprehensive list of resources, Taste Recovery makes finding the help you need easier than ever. Start building your path to a healthier, sober life today. Visit tasterecovery.com to find the resources that work for you. Taste Recovery, your first step to a lasting positive change. Hi, everyone. I'm Breezy.
And I'm Jimmy.
And we are
Sober
Disclosure.
This is take 2. We have Parker here, a roided couch surfer from Orange County.
That's me.
I need to know exactly what the couch surfer thing. What does that mean?
When I met him, he was sleeping on his dad's couch.
Oh.
And he sleeps on couches.
And he does steroids.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I just said that because
yes.
he looks good.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. But most people who look like me are on something.
Thank you. Was I talking to you about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't disagree.
No, I think it was my other client, though. Never mind.
Oh, that disagreed.
No, we were just talking about this girl that all of a sudden has like crazy abs and looks manly. I'm like, she's on steroids. And she's like, she's my friend. Why didn't she tell me? I said, she's not going to tell you, bitch.
Yeah,
she doesn't want you to know.
Do you feel like there's a weird stigma of being sober and being on steroids?
I don't think there's a weird stigma behind it. I think the general nomenclature is like people get in shape, the best shape of their lives when they get sober. But I think it comes down to making a personal decision if that's the way you want to take your route.
Being on steroids.
Being on steroids. Yeah.
It's
the stigma on being on steroids and being sober it's like a gray area that people are on, but they don't want to talk about it because people are like, then you're not sober. Me personally, I think it's a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you are, to me, it's a decision that I would make, and I have to find my why on why I want to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not.
You're not getting high.
You're not getting high off of it.
So
no.
why would it be?
But if you're misusing it to get high, only I would know that.
You can get high on.
You would have to do massive amounts.
Yeah, you have to do massive amounts.
Like so much. Like it's not like you take a hit and you feel something. It's like you have to do so much, and that's why I don't understand it. But you know what? I think it's a personal thing.
I think what you might be getting at is a certain level of testosterone, of added testosterone, will elevate your mood, it'll elevate your productivity. So in a way, they do mess with your mind, but it can go one of two ways. It's either going to help you out a lot, or it's going to be very detrimental to your mental health.
Yes. But that's why you need to go and know what you're doing, because if you are missing testosterone and you add a little bit, then it's actually balancing you out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
That's why
say it again.
I was just going to say, that's why you see a lot of guys like in their 30s start taking a little bit of TRT. Mm-hmm. But that's where the new kind of gray area is. It's like, okay, well, you may be saying you're on TRT, but you're also doing 1 or 2 or 3 other things as well as that.
Yeah.
But the big problem is like people, you get some people will feel shamed if they admit they're on steroids. They feel like it'll take away from the work that they're putting in, because it's kind of hard to balance. Is like, okay, do you look that way because of the way you work or because of what you're putting into your body?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big common thread within the fitness community.
And the sober community.
Yeah.
And the sober community.
Yeah. Did you put a lot of thought into it, or you were just like, I want to be muscular?
So I've considered myself to be a bodybuilder-esque for about 10 years.
Okay.
So fitness was from the get-go, because I didn't have my first drink or anything until I was 22. Until I was about 6 years into my fitness journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
So because if you drink, you'll get fat.
That too. Yeah.
And it'll blow your whole endocrine system.
100%. And the funny part about the entire time I was an alcoholic, I never drank beer because that was my exact thought process.
Wow. Still trying to control something in your body.
Yeah, just some part of it. I didn't want to get fat. I knew I was getting skinny because I wasn't eating because my only diet was alcohol at the time.
Mhm.
But at least I was telling myself, hey, I'm not getting fat from drinking beer.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the way my mind worked.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
so now-
it's like a little bit of an eating disorder or body dysmorphia in a way.
Body dysmorphia for sure.
Okay.
100%.
Oh my God, can we talk about that? We
Yeah,
haven't
absolutely.
spoken to any men that talk about their body dysmorphia.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
It's
When did that start?
I think it started from the very beginning.
Your
you know?
childhood.
Yeah, I mean, even before I got into fitness, because I used to hate working out because I
Mhm.
didn't see I didn't see any results from it. I didn't see the point in it, And I was I was bullied a lot growing up. Right after my parents got divorced, we moved to the middle of the country, and I was just ruthlessly bullied for like 3 years, and I couldn't figure out why. So when I finally came back out here and I, started working out with my friend, we got a gym pass to 24-hour fitness together. And we just started going every day, and that's what we would do when we would hang out. And eventually, I started making progress, and other people started noticing. But then it got to the point, especially when I started my personal training career, where I developed an unhealthy attachment to the way that I looked because I thought it was the only way I could provide value to anyone's life, as if I was in like the prime, physique that I had.
Yeah.
So it really kind of messed me up a long ways, especially getting into alcohol and then losing it, something that I had been building for 7-8 years at the time.
Absolutely.
And then I completely just lost everything. So getting sober and then getting back into the gym was really hard, especially because doing that at the same time.
Mhm.
But that's what also kind of, I think, separated me from the rest, especially the people in either the detox I was at or the sober home I was living at.
What do you mean separated you from them?
So most people, when they're in sober living, they're just trying to get back on their feet again. They're trying to establish routines and establish, like a schedule. For me,
Something that they never had
something they
before.
never had. But
Okay,
I
I get what
already
you're saying.
had that.
Yeah.
So in the sober home, I was right back on my shit in a good way, where I was cooking all my meals, I was doing my cardio morning and night, I was going to the gym, I was working, so all that stuff. So my house manager didn't give a fuck about me in like a good way. He goes, "You seem like you're good."
Yeah, you
know
got
what I mean?
this. Yeah.
And I was actually starting to kind of inspire all these other guys because they see it. They
Yeah.
live with me.
Yeah.
And they see me getting in better shape and getting my life back together. Most of them hated me for it because they couldn't do that for themselves.
Yeah.
But there were a few guys in the house that started asking me questions slowly. And then I started, just helping them get assimilated back into life through fitness. And that's what I try to do with my own business now is I combine my sobriety experience with my fitness experience. So I try and help people either avoid the whole alcoholism or anyone who is sober. I'm like, hey, let's just be sober buddies.
Yeah.
Come train with me and I'll help keep you sober. I'll be your accountability for that while I get you in the best shape of your life.
Oh.
So I think I really did.
A niche.
A niche.
Yeah.
Yes. So I really believe I went through all that for a specific reason.
I love that you found your purpose.
Yeah.
We missed a step. How much time sober do you have?
I have just over a year and 2 months.
Beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Is this your first time getting sober?
This is my first time getting sober.
Ever?
Wow.
You said your first drink was at 22 years old.
Yep.
And you got sober at how old?
27.
Wow.
And you know what?
So you drank for 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years. That's a short time
That's so short.
for you to hit rock bottom.
I know. That's what everyone else said. I'm like, I just work like that. I don't know what to say.
Oh my God. Well, okay. So I met Parker because my best friend's aunt is dating his dad, which I haven't seen her in a while because the family's fighting, but that's another story. He doesn't.
I didn't know about that. Okay.
And so I wanted to train with him. And so the first time I trained with him, I want to tell the story is he trained me. He's a really great trainer. I wasn't financially ready, but he trained me. And then I was leaving and he was trying, I don't know if you were trying to hide,
Yeah.
but he was hiding that he had to call an Uber to go to work.
Yeah.
So then I told him I would take him to his job and he doesn't have to be embarrassed in front of me because I'm sober and I know exactly I did that too.
Yeah.
Oh, so this was like in your very
His first
I was maybe about
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
something like that, very early on.
Yeah.
very early on.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Maybe month,
crazy.
yeah.
How'd you find it?
My best friend.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
My
And
best
they just
friend's-
recommended him to you.
Well, yeah, for a couple of times they're like, "Oh, train with Parker. He's moving by you," and I was like, "Okay, I'll try him." You know, and then we did one training session, and then that's how I met him.
And how did you end up here sitting on our couch?
So when because Jimmy and I, we have each other on Instagram, and I think you posted about the Sober podcast.
Yeah,
And I had been watching a ton of podcast clips on YouTube, and I was like, I wonder what it would be like to do one.
Yeah.
And then I found your guys' page, and then I do you run the page?
we both do.
You both do. So I messaged the page. I was like, hey, I have a story to tell, and this year has been, now that I'm 28, this year is all about growth and getting out of my comfort zone, because my comfort zone is staying inside and not doing anything.
Yeah.
Whether it be drinking or not drinking.
Right.
Get naked right now.
Well, you gotta wait for that. You gotta pay for that, my friend.
It's all wait till camp.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Wait till camp. Yeah, special costume.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I really wanted to. I believe in my story. I believe in it, and I want to share it because I know even if it just helps one person, that will mean something to me. It'll kind of validate what I went through a little bit.
Yeah.
And so that's all I want to do is help people stay sober, get sober, and then get in the best shape of their life. And I think being sober kind of goes hand in hand with that, with getting in the best shape of your life.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. So you went to treatment, right?
I went to Charlie Street, the detox.
Oh, very
And
cool.
Did you go there on your own?
No, my dad took me.
I told
You did? That
Kath,
was you?
Yeah. I
Thank
said
you
he
for
needs
that.
to go to Charlie Street.
Yeah.
It's free. Drop his ass off.
Yeah.
And she goes, okay. She's like, he's on our couch right now. I'm like, drop his ass off on Charlie Street, right? And she goes, okay, let me talk to Paul.
Yeah.
I never.
I mean, I don't want to take credit. I mean, a lot of things probably went into that. I just remember because I do her hair. We talked about it, and she asked me
where to go.
what they should do. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I didn't have the motivation. I wanted to get sober. I didn't know how to. I had tried every step in the book. You know how they have that paper when you talk in meetings? It's like, we tried the following things. It's like that giant list. I tried everything on that list. And it's like, the one thing I needed was to, get closer to God and then go through the AA process.
I mean, that's basically what it is.
Yeah. And physically go to a detox to get dried up enough to where you can start making different decisions.
Spiritually fit.
Yeah.
Spiritually fit.
So you get dropped off at Charlie Street. How long did you stay there for?
The whole 10 days.
Whole 10 days.
10
and then
days,
they
baby.
recommended a sober living?
Yeah, so it's kind of up to you to find one. They have resources. They have people come to Charlie Street and give you connections. And I called Tyler. He was the house manager at the one I was staying at. And I mean, he met me, and I thankfully, my parents raised me well enough to where I could always, make a good first impression, even if I was, in a detox.
Yeah.
And he kind of looked at me, and even the guys who did my intake, they were looking at me, and they're like, "You don't seem like you really belong here." And I was like, well, I need help, so I don't know where else to go.
Yeah.
And that got me in, good graces with the house manager. But being there was a nightmare. I mean,
sober living?
Yeah, because this was a 6-bedroom house that we had 20 dudes in. They didn't have a permit to hold that many people.
I was going to say it's illegal.
Yeah. So about once a month, we had people from the city come and view our house, and we had to dress it up like 6 people were living there. Which means moving a ton of beds into the garage, locking the garage, and just doing the whole house, making sure it wasn't a sober living home, because we couldn't even be a sober living home. Yeah,
that's crazy.
It was
Don't tell me this. Oh, this is literally why I built Taste Recovery, and
yeah. So it was a nightmare, especially because most of those people were not actively in recovery.
Right.
Like we had.
Well, they're doing it to make money.
Yeah.
That too, which I think is
disgusting.
Very unfortunate.
How long were you able to stay there for?
So I
worded it that way for a reason, because it's
I was actually, after 9 months, from about May to not May. Yeah, for about 9 months, and then I was actually kicked
You
out.
stayed there 9 months?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah.
That's crazy.
It was rough, but yeah, I was in there for about 9 months until they kicked me out because I was smoking weed.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
can't be doing that in sober living.
Yeah.
So then I was homeless for about 2 months. That's when I started couch surfing again and staying in hotels. And the funny thing about that is like I had every excuse in the book to drink, but I didn't because I knew it wasn't going to make anything better.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when I got kicked out, I was a personal training director at LA Fitness at the time, and I was doing okay. And something switched in me to where I got kicked out. I rose to the top in sales in my company, and I held that position for the next 6 months until I left on my own accord, and now I'm running my own business. So it all kind of, I guess you could call that some godly motivation,
Mm.
you know?
So are you still smoking weed?
No.
Okay.
I stopped all that, stopped vaping. That was really hard because that was like the last thing I had that could kind of give me a little head change. But after I was kicked out of the sober home, I was like, okay, that's a good sign. I should stop.
Yeah.
So I pretty much took that and ran with it and just did my best to solely focus on bodybuilding, getting back in shape, and just doing the best I could at my job. And then eventually it all worked out.
And you do not go to 12-step meetings, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not like I have anything against them.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in detox, we held all the meetings there, and I'm thankful that I was not in the position that any of those other men were. And I easily could have taken that as like, well, I'm not as bad as they are. I don't need to be here, you know, but I saw that as like, that could be my future. And I really, really sat with that and looked at these guys, and I was like, I don't want that for myself. I don't want that to be my life at all.
Yeah.
So, and I guess through God, you know, he really helped me just make that change in myself. And I don't have any aspirations to drink. I don't have any temptation to whatsoever. And I'm so thankful for that.
Yeah.
Because if I woke up and I didn't have more than like a 3/4 of a bottle, I didn't know how I was going to get through that day.
Right.
And that's a depressing feeling.
Yeah.
So depressing.
Yeah. So do you feel like you needed, well, I guess two things, your higher power to help you stay sober, but then you've found this passion and I guess essentially purpose for why you went through. Do you guys see that? It's like trying to get in my mouth. So you found your purpose. You feel like that's what you need in order to stay sober.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gym for myself, but I've found that the more people I bring on, and these are like younger guys, like in their early 20s, that's why I'm really helping out right now is they see the habits that their parents had, and they're like, I don't want that to be me.
Yeah.
Or they're just coming out of college and they're like, well, I partied way too hard in college. I need to like get set straight.
Yeah.
So basically I just get to share all my stories with these guys, and it's kind of scaring them straight. And well, I remember one of my clients, he said to me, he goes, yeah, my problem is I get bored and then I try and just like entertain myself with alcohol and like weed. I'm like, that's not the problem. That's your coping mechanism. And just that one line, every single one of these guys just has their mind open. It's like, oh shit, the problem is deeper inside me. And it's like, that was something for myself that I had to really face, when I started in therapy. It's like, why did I drink? Why did I need my head to just shut up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So going through therapy was very, very life-changing for me as well. Just like facing my inner demons soberly and being able to address them and then, move forward, as a person.
Yeah. I think that you and what you're doing with your clients, it feels a little bit like sponsorship.
Yeah.
So it's like you're still being of service. And you're still creating a community. You're having all of these similar experiences, which is really important for us to share on this podcast is that there is no one way no one right way to get and stay sober.
Correct.
So I think that's really cool.
Are you doing like outside help, like therapy?
Still
You are?
Yeah, I'm still
Nice.
in
Still in
therapy.
therapy.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, therapy's been helping
Did
a
you
lot.
say that?
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
We just had a whole conversation about him going to therapy.
I was just the whole time thinking about you smoking weed. Yeah, that is, you have to have all those for, for it to work, basically.
Yeah. Well, but it's always different for everyone.
Yes.
And that's what's so incredibly important and
Yeah.
why we started this podcast and why we like to interview people from all walks of life and all types of sobriety journeys.
Yeah.
I've heard from so many people, like, I'll say something about the program, the 12-step program, and it's like, no, there's more than that way to get and stay sober. And I'm like, you're so right. You're absolutely so right. And that is so my bad. And I don't ever want to make anyone feel like you have to do it the way that I did it in order to get and stay sober. So I love that. So you obviously don't have a sponsor. Like, do you have a mentor? Like, do you have somebody that you can talk to that's in the sober world? Like,
I don't. I mean, I have a couple clients who I'm pretty close with, who we've known each other for a while, and they're good at listening. They're good at understanding. But when I was, when I went through it, I lost everything. I lost all my friends. I lost tons of jobs. So I came out of getting sober just by myself, and that was the first time, kind of in my life, where I felt like that's all I needed, was just to be by myself, because I had so many different influences, I'll say. And for once, I just wanted to kind of sit with myself and figure out, what do I want to do and how am I going to do it? It's a fucking bug.
I know. It wants all of our mouths.
But
Not mine.
but I am looking, my therapist helps. It's not like a sober kind of therapy, it's just regular therapy. I am looking to going into EMDR therapy, I think, for traumatizing, like, relationships and stuff like that. I think that will help a lot with as well. But in terms of having a mentor, no, but I would like one.
Yeah.
Because I understand, like, I'm not perfect, and I know that it's a practice, to keep putting work into yourself and into your relationship with your higher power and all that stuff. And I'm always open to guidance.
Did you go to meetings when you were in treatment?
Yeah, so I went to meetings when I was in the detox, because they had them there, and I have nothing against meetings. I think they're great. I just think at the time, I had learned my lesson from them, and I'm still open to going to them now. But when I got into the sober living home, because I was so on top of my shit, my house manager didn't check up on me. So I didn't need to go to meetings. I didn't need to prove I had a sponsor, just because he trusted me just from me being on my game all the time. So, and then, all the other housemates are resenting me for that, because they're having to do, their meeting check-ins, and then their sponsor check-ins and all that stuff. And I'm just kind of over here just doing my own thing, living life normally. And they kind of like saw that, and they're like, well, why is he getting special treatment? I don't think they could really see it like that. Where it's just like, well, once you prove yourself, if you can maintain a morning and night routine and, like, do something with your life to get you throughout the day, then you may not need that.
Yeah.
Where are you living now?
So I am living in a condo now in Anaheim Hills.
Oh, nice.
So I was able to move out of or stop being homeless and move into that place. And then I run my own training business like 15 minutes from it. So everything is very tightly knit together, which is super, super nice.
Love that.
Yeah, very grateful for that.
So normally we discuss the chaos of the first year, because people in active addiction and alcoholism, you're so used to making really bad decisions, and, like, your brain is so warped and just because you get sober, it doesn't mean now all of a sudden I'm well. Right? Like we're still very sick people. Can you talk about certain things that happened in that first year that you can kind of notice that you weren't well yet and that there was still work to be done?
Yeah, I mean, a number of events happened. I mean, my first day of in the detox, I wasn't saying anything to anyone because I didn't know anyone. I was super scared. And I read the entire the Big Book of AA. I read that in its entirety in my first 2 days. Because that's all there was to
I've
do.
never done that.
Wow.
I mean, thankfully they had a fish tank, and I love fish, so I just sat by that fish tank and I just read the book.
They do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every once in a while, I would go out to the little outdoor area, and I regrettably smoked cigarettes for the first time, but that was just because I felt like I needed something. And I'm just there listening to all the guys talk. And there was this one guy, his name was Ted, and he had the detoxies and like the shakes for 4 days. And he goes, yeah, I just don't know why they won't go away. And the first thing I said when I was in there, I said, I'm pretty sure that's a sign of a seizure. 5 minutes later, he has a seizure and he dies right in front of me on my first day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and no one batted an eye. They just called the cops. They cleared the area. They got his body set up, and then they just came, strapped him up, and took him.
That happens there a lot.
I know.
A lot.
It's really scary.
Yeah.
On Saturday meeting, maybe every other week, someone will seizure. I used to go to that meeting. They would seizure during the meeting, and then people would just allow them to and hold them, and then they would call the ambulance. I mean, there's nothing else you could do.
Yeah.
Nothing else you can do.
But that's why it's very important if you're withdrawing from alcohol to be in a hospital.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
So there was that. And then one of my housemates in the sober living home, I'll never forget this. This was like a scene out of like a horror movie. So it was a 2-story house, and I walk into the garage, and the upstairs bathroom is directly over the garage. And I walk in, and I feel water drip onto my shoulder. And I look up, and there's water dripping from the ceiling. And I get this insane, weird feeling in the back of my head. So I run upstairs, and the user of the house, he was dead, OD'd, face down in the shower with the water running. And I found his body like that, and I completely lost it. So I tell my house manager. He freaks out. He's trying to Narcan this dude, and it's not working. He's gone. Someone calls the police. They're coming over. We all realize we look like a sober house right now. So while this dude is dead, we now have to dress up the house, get all the beds moved and everything. Everyone's freaking out while the cops are coming over. And it's just like, it was like all in like a span of like 30 minutes. So we got the house dressed up. The cops came over. They took his body out of there. They're questioning everyone. They're trying to figure out what's going on. They're like, oh, we don't know. He just rents a room here. And it was just like such a nightmare, So there's a couple of events like that. Another one, so being kicked out of the sober home, that was really hard too. And then I feel like one of the biggest ones was I had to step away from an almost 10-year relationship because I feel like I couldn't get my life back together fast enough for her. And we had our tons of problems going into that, but it just seemed like she had emotionally discarded me, which is funny because she enabled my bad behavior for years. And then when I finally got sober, she wanted nothing to do with me. So before she could, really break my heart and just go leave me for someone new, I found out, and I was able to walk away from that. And doing so, that kind of gave me all my power, a lot of my self-esteem back that I had kind of lost within that relationship. So I always tell everyone, it's like the second I got sober, I had every excuse in the book to drink.
Yeah, you sure did.
Yeah, and I thank God every day that I didn't, because I know I would not be sitting here today if I did.
Well, and that's so you not only found or saw one person die, but you found another person dead, and that alone is extremely traumatizing. And it's like you go from being an alcoholic because that's my story. Like I was just just alcohol, and going from just strictly alcohol to going into treatment where it's all of these addicts that are, shooting fentanyl and dying every day. And it's like, holy fuck, like it's a wake up call for sure. Like,
Yeah.
yes, people die from alcoholism, but it takes a long time
Yeah.
versus, being around people who are shooting drugs and
Yeah.
all of the things, it's very, very different. And without going and doing a program, how do you stay sober in those moments? How are you getting through that and not being like, this is not for me,
I'm really not sure. I mean, I give all the credit to God, obviously, because I feel like he was the one thing I was missing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it's just the way my brain works, where I don't know if there's a word for it. But once I'm set on a path, there's no stopping it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the path I'm doing the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That's when when I first got in the gym. Now I've been lifting for almost 11, 12 years.
Right.
Without it, the only time I took off from working out was when I was an alcoholic.
Mm.
So, when I started drinking, like it ramped up really quickly.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, you're just making up for lost time, stuff like that. But it's like, I knew from year one I had a problem. I knew it right away. And I was very open about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a drinking problem.
Yeah.
I'm doing it a lot.
Yeah.
Like when I'm bored in the morning, like I'm not eating so I can stay drunker,
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I knew I had a problem with it. I was pretty open about it. But it didn't. No one really stepped up or really did anything about it, which I get. But now it's just like I found my purpose, and not only am I in the position to be running my own business and then eventually open up my own gym, but now that I combine it with the whole sobriety aspect, it's like the more people I help either avoid that or stay sober themselves, the more it's helping me.
Mm-hmm.
So just like the more I help people get into the best shape of their lives, the more it's going to help me, continue my motivation to get in the best shape of my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'd say it's a combination of staying with my faith for sure. And I mean, the gym has been my entire life.
Did you have, are you going to church and stuff like that?
Yeah, I go to Friends Church.
Okay. So is that new within this sobriety?
Going to church?
Yeah.
Yeah, growing up, my parents I was born Christian. I was baptized, so I always knew there was a God.
Mm-hmm.
But we were never like a practicing kind of family.
Right.
Just my parents had their own views, and they didn't want to force it upon us.
Mm-hmm.
But then, my that one relationship I was in, she kind of introduced me to it a little bit. And we started going to church together as a way to try and get me sober.
Mm.
But I just think it was like the wrong context at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think I really had to lose everything.
Yeah.
And then I just finally said, okay, I give up. Like I surrender.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was a big thing. Understanding the concept of surrendering to God and living by his will instead of your own, and not trying to control every aspect of your life.
Which you did learn all of what you're talking about when you read the big book within those first 2 days. You're just applying it differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So unfortunately, we have to wrap it up. So last question.
Okay.
I didn't say it right.
Like croissant.
Question. Last question. Was there something that you heard in that first year of your sobriety journey that really stuck out to you that you can give to our listeners to kind of help them in their first year?
Something about sobriety?
Or not.
So, well, I think I kind of said it before, because I always thought my problem was the alcohol and the weed. And now switching the perspective of that being the coping mechanism, I think that did a lot for me. Because I for years I was like, my problem is alcohol and weed. My problem is alcohol and weed. My problems are lying underneath those. And that's why I started addressing in therapy finally. So getting that, that really helped a lot. Like really internalizing, everything going on, within me and from my past traumas and all that stuff is finally getting it broken down and in front of me and be like, okay, that kind of explains it a little bit more. So understanding that the alcohol isn't the problem, it's the coping mechanism, I think is a big perspective change. I think will allow people to kind of start looking more within and seeing their situation maybe a little differently.
Yeah.
Maybe not as hopeless.
Yeah. Love that.
That's good.
That's a great answer.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank
We
you for
actually haven't had
coming.
that
Thank you
either.
guys for
Yeah,
having me.
thank you so
I
much.
appreciate it.
I love how open and honest you are about everything and not feeling ashamed to be doing things differently. And I think it's going to be a really cool experience for you to come to camp
I can't wait.
where we do have people that show up who do not work a 12-step program and they're just there as sober individuals looking for a community, and I hope you find that.
I hope so too.
I think I know you will.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really glad that you're getting to come and meet
Angel
other
will
people.
Angel will love you.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening, everyone. I am Breezy.
And I'm Jimmy.
And we are
Sober Disclosure.
He did it.
This episode is brought to you by Light Salon, Orange County's premier destination for expert hair color. At Light Salon, we specialize in creating stunning custom color transformations that highlight your natural beauty. Owned and operated by passionate, sober stylists, we bring authenticity, creativity, and precision to every client experience. Light Salon.